how do relationships change from that honeymoon phase?
Well, I think what happens is that once people are committed to each other, unfortunately, they start to take it for granted. If you want a relationship to work, you have to work at it. Um, Relationships really need more than I love you. The most important thing that you can do for your relationship is make it a priority. Now, look, life happens, and so sometimes there's going to be stress, projects at work, a sick parent, different things come up. And you've got to be able to deal with those things. But if you put your relationship on a back burner too often, it's not going to be able to stay vital. Like a plant, you have to water it, you have to give it light. So what happens, as I said before, is people start to take it for granted. They don't put in the same kind of commitment and time that they did when they were first in that honeymoon phase. And so it goes away.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So let's now welcome our affiliate partners. We've got with us Stickum, Blog TV, Real Coaching Radio TV Network, Kite TV, Receiva Internet Radio, Radio Roku, and New Media Radio and TV as our syndication partners. And we'd love to have you dial in or call in to our studio hotline at 303-872-0503. Come on in via Skype at Real Coaching Radio, or come on in via Twitter at RCRN. So thank you for that answer, Karen. I think it really is helpful. And I think what gets in the way is parenting issues as well as our job issues. And I know a lot of the people I meet have heavy travel schedules. Mm. And it almost happens like we begin to build parallel lives.
Yeah.
And it's just very, very difficult in the hubbub, especially two career families, to really center back on why you got together in the first place.
Yes.
What do you do with couples that you work with in that dimension?
Well, I think, first of all, let me go back to what you said about raising children. That is the most difficult time in a couple's relationship. You've got extra people, you've got the stress, you've got time pressures, and you're right, in this society, of course, now we have economic difficulties, but a lot of people are, both people are working and travel and everything. But, even though you have all that stress going on, there are still ways to connect. It doesn't have to be where you go out for these glamorous dinners or nights out. You could have dates at home, even when you're raising children. It's important for children to see that you are spending mommy-daddy time. It's important for them to see that that is what goes on in a couple. And they will actually get used to that if you do that on a regular basis. So when couples say that they just can't spend time with each other, there are ways around that. And again, it doesn't have to be a long time. It can be 15 minutes. And then when you mention, having busy schedules or such, let's use technology. Send an email, send a text message, make some phone calls. I'm thinking about you today. You were on my mind. I just called, to let you know that, I can't wait to get home to you. Those little things are letting the other person know you matter to me. And that's what will allow for the connection. So that's what's really important. Letting the other person know I'm here for you, I'm still thinking about you. And then, of course, especially when you are both at home, and this is going to take a little bit of mindfulness, don't run and listen to your answering machine right away. Turn off your Blackberries and your cell phones. I know my husband and I plan to have dinner every night between 7 and 7:30. He tutors, I see clients. We both work our schedules such that neither one of us sees anybody between 7 and 7:30, because that's the only way that we have dinner together and we have a chance to be with each other. So there are ways that you make sure that you're together when you're together, and you connect that way.
Okay, I really like that idea of carving out the space.
Yeah.
Even if you have a kid-free hour. If it depends on the age of your children, if they're off
Right.
doing homework, I think that would be amazingly healthy to tell like a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old, please entertain yourselves for the next hour. Your mom and I are going to read a book or do some
Right.
activity. And I
Right.
really liked what you said about planting the seed inside the children's minds that they're watching their parents cultivate their
Yes.
bond. And so then they realize that that's admirable behavior, and that's how they learn. So
Yes.
if we raise children